Will you pray with me? Holy gracious God, move among us. Let us hear your voice. Let us hear you speak this day. We pray in your Son's name. Amen. The parable of the sower is one of the best known parables of Jesus. While not one that often works its way into the secular world, such as the Good Samaritan story does in Good Samaritan Laws or knowing about the Good Samaritan, it is read by those of us in the church all the time, and we know it. I remember vividly and fondly when I was in grade school, watching a parable acted out with clowns and balloons at a concert I attended as a kid. It's a known story, and a vivid one. A farmer sows seeds and multiple problems show up. But then a crop comes that exceeds all expectations. And, different than most of the parables, we also get Jesus explaining what it means, just so we don't quite miss the point what the parable is about. It even includes an assumed call that I talked about with the kids. That we're to be the good soil. That we are to be the ones who bear fruit. It's a well-known parable, but it's so well-known that we might miss some details in it that can change, if not its meaning, then how we process that meaning. And I want to look at those details this morning. First, the story calls upon us not just to be the soil, although that too, but also the farmer. We've all heard sermons and lectures and read books about being the good soil. I've probably given some, and you just heard me talk to the kids about it. But Matthew, at the end of the chapter, says, as the disciples being sent out to bear the good news, to preach the good news to all people, that's what the farmer does, the sower does. To preach the good news, to tell what we have seen and experienced and heard, that's the job of the sower. And we are the ones called to that task. We are the ones called to spread that seed. Which means we're also the ones tasked to prepare the soil. Now I gotta give a confession here. I don't know a lot about farming. Any of y'all who are farmers, don't give me a quiz after church, because I will not know the answers. I know what a tractor is, and a combine, and a truck. All the other farm equipments that are out there, I don't know any of them. I'll say, oh, it's a farm equipment. That's all I know. I know that we plant in the spring, usually done by around Memorial Day if we're having a good year, sometimes afterwards. And that harvest is in August, September, into October. But I couldn't tell you the details of when you harvest the beans or the corn or when you plant hay. I don't know any of those things. I just don't. But I know this. Farmers don't just spread their soil around and hope they'll grow. They don't just go into the field and say, I'm going to toss this expensive seed out here and hope I get some food back for money. That's not how farming works. No, they do hard work. They do prep work. From nitrogen to all sorts of things that I don't understand, but farmers do. They do the work to prepare the soil even before they plant. Because without doing so, they're not going to get a good crop. And farmers need a good crop. It's how they make their livelihood. We are called to do the same. We're called to prepare the soil on ourselves. Let's talk with the kids by Bible reading, by prayer, by worship, by opening ourselves up to experience others and seeing them as people and children of God, loved and beloved just as we are. But also how we do the work as a church. Do you hear some of the soils that don't grow? There's soils where people are choked out by the cares of the world. Soils where people hear and don't understand. Soils, people receive the word, but the stress of life keeps them from showing forth fruit. Friends, that's what we can start to take care of. What is our Christian education program, our confirmation programs, our youth group, if not us helping others to understand the Word? What is our mission work? Both the stuff we do as trips, the Back Bay like Elizabeth does, or at some point the youth groups, and the work we do with the food pantry and other nonprofits, if not us at the church, trying to make it so other people have less cares of the world, less stresses that can keep them from very good fruit. The work we're called to as the church is to prepare the soil, to till the soil, to do the work of others, so that they can have things cleared away and can bear the good fruit that God has planted in them, that we can plant in them. So we are called to be as a church. It's why we work so hard, for instance, to be hospitable, to be welcoming. We print prayers and bulletins that others come in, know and don't feel lost. We work hard to make strangers into friends, so that people might receive the word of God and they need to hear it, and bear the fruit that God invites them to bear. Our work as the church is to prepare the soil and to till it just like farmers do, just like the sower probably did. Because once people are good soil, they can bear fruit. But let me be clear, our job is to prepare the soil, not to judge the soil. At first glance in our parable, the farmer or the sower is a terrible farmer. Because you know what else farmers don't do? Spread, again, their expensive, precious seed everywhere in the whole wide world and hope that it just grows. The farmer in the parable throws seed everywhere on the path, in rocks, or a bunch of weeds are added. It doesn't weed out. That's not how farmers work. It's not how sowers work. Any farmer today who spreads his crop on the road, even a dirt road, much less the paved road, would be a fool. Would be silly. That's how you go bankrupt. That's how you waste money and don't get the crop you need to survive. You can't waste seed like that. I'm not a farmer. Even I know that. But the sower in the parable does. Why? Because it's a parable. Because you never can tell where good soil might lie. Our job is to help prepare the soil. We're not called to decide who is good soil. We're called to love all people. We're called to share with all around us how we've seen Jesus, what it means for us to walk in the ways of faith. We're not called to discern whether a person can hear or receive the words we offer. We're not called to look at them and say, I think you're rocky soil. I'm not going to waste my time today. We're not called to say, I tell you about Jesus, but I know you're stressed and the weeds of the world will just choke that word away, so not going to happen. No. Like the sower in the parable, we're called to spread our seed, to share the good news extravagantly. All who might hear it. Because we're not in charge of the soil. God is. Now, that doesn't mean we can't use at least some discretion. Now, the example I wrote down here, which is totally made up from my work, my coworker, who is Muslim or Jewish, doesn't probably need me telling them about Jesus every single day. It's not my job to convert people of other faiths to Christianity. But it my job, to share with those around me by how I live, by the words I use when they ask, by the words I use of love when they don't ask. It is my job to share the good news of a God who loves all people. We cannot decide, we know who is deserving of the good news, or more to the point, who will receive the good news. When it comes to people, we're like me, we don't know what's good soil or not. And so we keep doing the work. Keep spreading seeds of love and grace and compassion. Keep sharing the gospel, how it influences our own lives. Keep serving in Jesus' name. Because we never know where seed might take root and bloom. The spreading of that seed, the spreading of the gospel is our job. The knowing of the soils is not. The soil is in God's hands. And friends, that's actually good news. Because just as the soil is in God's hands, so is the harvest. We have work to do, make no mistake. See the entire sermon so far. But the harvest described in this parable is so large that it can't happen without the harvest being in God's hands. Researchers think that in Jesus' day, a harvest of 6 to 7-fold would be considered a really good crop. Well, do the math. 30-fold, 60-fold, and 100-fold is a lot more than 6 to 7-fold. That's not possible. The farmer prepares the field, help, sure. The farmer throws indiscriminately because you never know where good soil might lie, sure. But that doesn't get you to 30, 60, 100-fold. For that you need God. God gave the harvest in the parable. God did the work to help the growth to happen. And God will here too. Our job is to plant seeds, to love others and care for them in God's name. And trust that God will give the growth. We do the hard work we can do. We share as best we can, but we're not in charge of results. That's in God's hands. As in so much else, our job is faithfulness. We can trust that if we do the work of loving and caring, if we do the work of reaching out to the least of these and working for justice, if we do the good work of planting seeds, then God will give a crop 30, 60, and 100-fold. Because bringing people into the kingdom, helping folks to know that they're loved by their Creator, that's what God does. That's what God is about. That's who God is. And for that, we can all shout aloud, praiseworthy, amen. Look, friends, I don't know anything about farming. Far less than I should know, having grown up in rural Illinois, where there were farm fields everywhere. Here's what I do know. We are called to be people in whom God shows fruits, so that others might see us and also come to know the love and grace of God. Know the God who loves them, who loves us, just as they and we are. We are promised that if we are faithful in this work, if we keep at it, keep at the ways that God invites us into, keep working hard to be ones who spread the good news and show love, then God will give a crop, even 30, 60, and 100-fold. That is good news indeed. Thanks be to God. Amen. Our musical meditation now.